Attendance.
Councilmember Kirk Kipling.
Thank you. Need a motion and support to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Have a motion and support to accept the agenda as presented. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Public comment? Nothing. No public comment from our, no public comment from our huge audience this morning. And we will move on to our items of business. First is a change order number 2 to the DWSRF grant. And it's a contract with Payne and Dolan. Bill, you want to,
Yep. So we're getting towards the end of the year, and we basically are saying that we don't want contractors to start removing any blacktop before or after October 1st, because you don't get the quality of work. So by enforcing that rule and by the projects, the parts of the projects that are left, Payne and Dolan would be pretty much out of work, like around the 15th of October. So we have a water main that is dead-ended down in the dip behind 7th Street. It's gonna be forced upon us to repair this anyway within the next year. We have a very good contingency on the contract too, that we haven't touched yet. I believe it's 1.2 million. So what I'm asking to do is allow Payne and Dolan to do something still in the water system, still within their scope of work. We have their bid prices, but allow them to do that this year and still be able to keep their employees employed through till at least the summer or till November. The price, and I'm sorry this isn't on an official change order, it's kind of fluid right now, but the bid that Payne and Dolan came in on was $269, $245. Lindbergh's is very close to that also. We just did it for representation, to make sure we weren't getting messed up or anything. What I'm asking you guys to do is to approve a dollar amount not to exceed $290,000 for the change order that you're gonna get probably by the next council meeting. The other reason I'm trying to do this today more than anything is because of the looming state budget and everything. If we don't get all of our permitting and all of this approved before that happens, it's gonna be a moot point and we're not gonna be doing anything anyway. So again, sorry for the rush. Tried to do everything that we could to get you the information.
My question is, your intent is to have Payne and Dolan do it?
Yes, it's
When?
part of their contract.
It's part of their contract?
It's the scope of their project. It's still within our water system.
yeah.
I'll make a motion, Pat, that we approve this change.
Just to reiterate that this money does come out of the DWSRF grant.
Yes.
So it's well within the contract. I have a motion and support. Any
You wanted
for,
it to 290 or something like that?
I'd like to do 290 only because what Zach put in here is his work.
Yeah,
There might be some dewatering that we're gonna have to help with or something,
that's my motion.
Right.
Go with your recommendation.
not to exceed 290.
Yep.
Question. Did Lindbergh come in under?
We would only use them as a representation because they're not a part of contract 2. They have a different contract for contract 1. So we're still keeping it within the scope of work that a contractor is here doing on our system.
Okay.
We're not trying to do anything.
all right, we have a motion and support to do the change order number 2, DWSRF contract 2 with Payne and Dolan at a price not to exceed $290,000. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
And you're making sure this gets done then, eh? But
The next item is consider additional paving of Cedar Street from Tamarack Street to the alley. This has been an issue like the Lost 40. I was contacted by property owner there, Mr. Beltrami, and he said he's been bringing this up for 40-plus years. A portion of this is actually Cedar Street, and you can see in the photo, and it's been plowed and maintained as gravel. So the recommendation that our city staff has come up with is, we talked about paving it all the way through, and we would be joining an alley, and ultimately we came up with what's before you, to do the pavement to allow access to the residents' driveway. And then what we would like to do is abandon the alley and end this 40-year mess that we've had. The funding grant, can you talk about how we would pay for this?
So this would be something that you would have to dip into either your public improvement fund, your general fund, or your local street fund for. I would say local streets would be the more appropriate funding mechanism. Currently, you have $703,000 in your local streets, but we are right now, as of September, still trying to climb out of our early season plow hole. So we are 125K expenditure over revenue for that fund year to date, which is something that I feel is relevant to this discussion. So you still have 703K, but we are technically at a negative for the year. I would advise against public improvement fund because of what we are doing with 3rd Street. And I feel like as far as the general fund as well, I could see us having to pull funds from the general fund. Like we discussed earlier, we may not a massive amount, but I could see us dipping into the general fund as well as pretty much draining the public improvement fund to cover our basis with 3rd Street and the additional work that we wanted to wrap into the project.
Thank you. Just to touch again, we're looking at the just over 17 grand, and that does not include a barrier or a guardrail of some type to end that street. So I would ask that we make a motion to not exceed 20, do you think 25 would cover?
We got a second in there too.
Yeah.
There should be a second one in there for you. Remember.
I think they'll have some input for you, Mayor.
Pardon?
They'll have some input for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
And I don't mean to throw a wrench in this whole thing. If we are going to do this, in my personal opinion,
Oh, I did see that.
this would have to come out of a public improvement fund. It would not come out of the street funds. It's, if you look at our Paiser rating and our street map, this is not even on our street map. It's not even on our Paiser rating. And with all the red that is on our Paiser rating, and I'm supposed to, as the administrator, I'm supposed to go through that list and dictate how we spend the street money. So if this is going to happen, to me, it would have to come out of a public improvement fund because it's not necessarily a street.
So this isn't a street?
It's not a street that is on our Paiser rating. So it's not a paved street on that. So you can use your street money for streets that require the paving in that. But, and I don't mean to be disrespectful of the gentleman that's putting this out there, but I have other streets in town that could use the money. It is a little bit of money, yeah, 17,000, but that can go towards, we don't know what the final number is gonna be for 3rd Street. We have Spruce, Main Street Hill, Hematite, that could all use milling and overlay. I understand that this has been going on for 40 years. It was just brought up to my attention this month. So as the street administrator, I have a hard press using street funds for it. And that's my only comment.
Hang on one second, Randy.
If it gets paid, Bill, does it go on our Paiser rating then?
It would, but the other side of me is we're not doing it correctly anyway because we're not excavating the stuff out of there. We're not putting the base material in there. So as a road, it's not being done as a road. It's just being done as there's some gravel on the road, we're gonna blacktop over it. So come next year, when those rocks start pushing through that road, then what do I have to remedy that again. So the bid right now is for $17,000 of a 2-inch overlay over what is there.
Well, I don't see why we don't wait until next year and try and do this right. So we do rip it up, what's underneath, and try and fit it into our schedule. I don't feel comfortable taking out of the public improvement fund.
Put it in our CIP.
If we do go next year, we still don't necessarily have to put in a full road. I mean, we talked about doing partway and do a barricade and stuff. Those decisions can be made and then, you know, price on that too. But this is a question for Bill. So anything that's paved, that's kind of in your wheelhouse to maintain. If
Yeah.
it's not paved, then it comes under a different status, eh?
It's maintained as is. So
Oh, okay,
paved roads are paved, gravel roads are gravelled,
that makes sense,
shoulders are shouldered,
right.
cement is cement. You know, I have, according to the Paiser, which, you know, we all had, me and Marcus both had to take classes to do the Paiser rating. We're doing Paiser rating again next week. Because of all the work that we have done, you're gonna see a lot of this red go to green. We're trying to follow the process, and I don't mean to be disrespectful for the gentleman that's posting this. I understand his issue, but as your administrator, I have to follow my rules, or my orders from you guys.
And I think we'd be violating our dig once philosophy on this.
My own concern as a counselor is this is somebody's house and their access. So basically what we're saying is you have access to your house through an alley. That's the part I have a tough time agreeing with. I believe that it should be Cedar Street until it terminates at the alley. And I'm not saying we have to do it now. But did you say it's on Paiser or it's not?
It is, it's not.
It's not, okay.
It's not even on our Paiser rating. You can see Cedar, Tamarack, and then this isn't even, it's never even been assessed.
So you have quite a bit of forework before you can even think of paving it.
Right.
If you drew a line up from Tamarack east, is that all his lot?
Both of those are his. One is his business and one is his home. And one of the recommendations is, you know, I mean, we're vacating the rest of the alley and the street. We could vacate the whole thing, and if he would like to pave up to his driveway, that would be his benefit. But the gentleman would also gain a heck of a lot of property that the city isn't even, you know, technically using.
I would more favor that approach because we'd be spending $17,000 to pave a road for one person and then vacate part of this road, and I mean, it just.
I agree,
Right now-
so using more for just one person's gonna actually use this, especially if we're getting rid of the alley, like it's gonna be pretty much dead end, so
Yep.
we're pretty much paving somebody's driveway. by
Yes,
the end.
exactly.
I have concerns about private, or public funds for private purpose, if we do have.
But on the other hand, I
that.
think
Yeah,
people
if
are
we-
using that as a street, they're cutting through there. I thought it was a parking lot all these years, and apparently, people in the neighborhood cut right through there to get onto Cedar Street. So they're using it as a city street, just it's gravel.
I actually think you have a better case for paving the entire thing through, including the alley. But I think as now, we've created essentially a driveway in the end of the day. And I know that that's not the intent, and I'm not implying that was the intent, but I worry that in trying to be helpful and trying to serve our purpose as a city and take care of our roads, that we might be creating something that looks like a headache down the
Definitely
road
will
for
be.
us.
Do we plow that, Bill, in winter?
We plow part of it, but then he also plows a lot of it, and from my understanding, which I can't wait to go watch it this year, he does one heck of a job getting his truck way up in the air. He plows his whole parking lot into that area.
So we do plow the whole thing out to the street, or?
Yeah, we plow one swipe in and one out.
His initial complaint was the mess, excuse me, was the mess from traffic,
Yeah,
that there's a lot of dust in his garage and such. So I think that I'm not against abandoning it, and closing it. Because if we do abandon it and it becomes, the one section of it's gonna become totally his.
Yep.
And then he would have the right to block it off, which would
That's not
help.
by oiling it.
What's that?
Your Honor,
The old days.
Just for the DNR, that was an
That was a joke.
that was an uncertified comment.
Your Honor, I would like to make a motion that we vacate the entire alley of both that portion of Cedar and the
That-
other spot.
That would be your next agenda item, sorry.
Oh, to do the whole thing?
The vacating of it, if you look at C.
Yeah, we,
All right.
first thing would be to yay or nay the additional paving.
I don't think we even need to take it up. We can just
We don't.
pass on it.
We can table it, let it sit.
I would do.
If there's
Motion
no,
to table.
well, I was gonna say, if there's no motion at all, we move on.
Oh, well then,
But I guess I got a question there too. This has been going on for all these years. Do we just want to draw a line in the sand and make a decision? You're gonna make it a street, we're not gonna make it a street, and then we just notify Beltrami that this is the way it is. And
Well, I think one thing that, for my part, is that I don't like the fact that there's discussion that it's an alley, it's a street, it's an alley, it's a street.
it's a street as far as I know, isn't it?
Well, and that's kind of what I thought, but like Bill says, it's not on our Pazer.
Right, but it's a gravel street that we have in the city. Otherwise, why are we following it?
Technically, I don't even know how it became what it did. My understanding is he owned the garage and then he was given the opportunity to buy the house, and then that's when this whole thing came about. I can't find record of us ever having this on a street map.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how, I don't know the history of where this road came from. But if to me, if you're gonna do this, B would be, I would like to see something voting yes or no, whether you're gonna pave it, just so that it's finally on record. And then the second part would be C, if you guys so feel it, vacate the eastern portion of Cedar Street, starting at Tamarack, including the alley of Tamarack.
If you look at
The attorney has a comment.
Yeah, so on the original plat for this, this area, where it says alley on your photo, actually extends quite a bit north of there.
Correct.
So it is an alley as far as city ownership go, it was dedicated to us as an alley. It goes, but it
behind his
has,
house then.
well, it keeps
Yes.
going.
Yeah.
It
And
goes to
then-
division.
And I don't know whether that's been vacated. That'll be something we should look at if there's any interest in that issue. But then Cedar Street is as shown on this aerial photo. So this photo is correct as far as what was dedicated to the city originally.
Right.
Right.
And as far as the alley itself, vacating it, there are no city-owned utilities. And I have had discussions with UPCO, and UPCO doesn't need an easement and they don't need an alley. Their utilities have been here for over 20 years. They have prescriptive rights. So in their mind, they don't care if we vacate alleys.
Yep.
Just for clarification, so I'm straight. So the alley, I'm assuming that's north and south, runs north all the way to that next road, and then Cedar Street dead ends into that alley. Is that what we're saying?
Correct.
I believe that's correct.
I don't think we would need though to vote on that if we're gonna just vacate the whole thing in the next, and I don't see why we can't vacate Cedar Street on this topic and vacate the alley next topic.
Well, we can't vacate has steps.
Okay,
It's not
It's
just
a,
a
it's
single,
a three-step
yeah,
process.
takes several meetings.
well then I guess I would.
I think what we should do is at this point, make a decision as to whether the end of Cedar Street is an alley or a street. So from the intersection of Cedar and Tamarack until it hits the alley, I think we need to decide today whether it's an alley or a street and whether we're gonna pave it or not.
I do have another question, if you don't mind. Bill?
Yep.
if we were to continue to, a street for even past his driveway, are we obligated to plow it past his driveway? And there's no turnaround,
No,
so what would we do with the plow, just not plow it at all? Or-
we wouldn't plow it at all. He, like I said, he maintains most of it as is. If we don't get to it, he's out there plowing it.
You see why I'm asking, because we
Right.
had that over by the
Right.
hospital and.
That's the
And-
whole
That went
situation,
on.
why I'm saying, if we can't do something for him up there, we can't, there would be favoritism.
And, you know, you guys don't even have to do anything, I'm sorry, you don't have to do anything on B and C. You guys can you guys can make a motion to table it till next Wednesday. Where the regular meeting is, we can get you the information that you're looking for. And the real agenda item would be vacating X amount of feet of, whether it's an alley or a street, and then also vacate the entire alley between Greenwood and Division, known as Tamarack Alley. Because there's no city utilities in there whatsoever.
I'd like to just get the vacation, just start the process of vacating it today, and then at the next meeting have.
Well, I'm uncomfortable taking action until we get the proper information, as Bill states, that
Well, then let's table it.
let's move it, I will make a motion that we move it to the agenda of our next regular meeting.
All right,
Have a motion and support to do the Cedar Tamarack area to our next regular meeting and have the DPW and our zoning department get all the information for us. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Very good. Yeah, Kurt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. Amendment to policy number 408, the non-discrimination policy.
what was changed in this? I don't see.
The only change is is Randy's name. This is
Oh.
just required for our Title VI plan that we have. And this policy has to be part of the Title VI plan, and you have to name a person.
Oh,
So basically, the only changes was changing the previous city manager's name to
Need
Randy's
a
name.
motion for that?
I'll make a motion to adopt it, yeah. Policy number 4-408, non-discrimination policy.
We have a motion and support to amend
Put our goals, like,
policy number 408, the non-discrimination policy as it's amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Ayes have it. And now we will move on to our multiple deficit elimination plans. Grant?
Okay, so I received some additional communication from the state, and that's why I'm putting these back in front of you. And I do apologize that we are looking at them a second time. You have motor pool and state aid. These are new ones. Your motor pool one here, which would be the first on the list in your packet. Your deficit here stems from, we closed the motor pool going from 24 to 25, and I made a accounting transfer of the assets in that fund, but still closing it out. It's lots of vehicles, it's lots of equity, it's lots of stuff. So I, rather than have a wait, I don't know. Point is, we ended up with a $6,000 shortage when we back out our capital assets and we add back what would be our long-term debt. So when we're looking at the fund, it looks fine, but then you have to back out all of your capitalized assets. Once we do that, we see we have a $6,000 deficit in the fund. But of course, that will be cleared in 25. So this plan or 26, excuse me. So this plan just shows that the motor pool is in the process of being eliminated and that the general fund is taking over all equity assets, liabilities on the motor pool. Should be pretty simple. Then the library state aid one, we just barely went over like $300. So there's just a purchase that exceeded some of the budgeted state funding there. I spoke with Jesse about it, and we are just going to monitor this fund a little more closely for next year. But the deficit elimination plan just shows through the course of normal contributions and donations and then your state revenue, that the fund will be made whole in the next year. And me and Jesse will watch appropriations for 2025. And then your brass wire plan, I just shifted a number, a few dollars, so that we matched the state's letter. Both the state, myself, and our auditors sometimes come up with different numbers by $1 or $2. Basically, different systems tracking things. Yeah, so I just updated this, so it's exactly the amount the state wanted to see, not like $1 off. And then same thing with the Parks Construction Fund. I just made a change to some of the calcs to reflect the number the state wanted to see.
This Teal Lake, is that the kayak thing?
Yeah, that's your kayak, the Teal Lake Water Trails, your kayak launches, yeah.
Do we need to do anything with those?
I would like a motion and a second, I guess, is what I need for the plan. Just approving that I can
we do
submit
that
this to
as
the
a group?
state.
The 4 plans.
I don't know.
Motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to approve all 4 of them.
Motion and support to accept the 4, excuse me, deficit elimination plans being the motor pool fund, the library straight aid fund, and the revisions for Brasswire Campground and the Teal Lake Water Project. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank
It
you.
is time for an adjournment.
Motion.
We are adjourned.